achieved.
What's up, folks? Welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, Day Quarantine, Day Vacation. Seeing how many days we can do here. No Dak Prescott deal. Past the deadline, no Dak Prescott deal. I've been sitting here listening to the G-Bag Nation just now. Brian brought us, Gavin Dawes. Hold on, my camera's a little crooked. Let me get a little turn there. Get you a little turn. Look at there. No deal. So I thought, you know what? Let's talk about what it means, what it doesn't mean, all sorts of things like that, because I think it's real easy for lots of different people to just throw out all sorts of nonsense at a time like this where you don't get a deal done and now you can go 50 different directions with it. And a lot of it's reckless, and we don't believe in recklessness here in Studio Day Heffrey. We believe in measured, intelligent analysis. So what happened? They didn't get a deal done. Why? I think part of that answer is this was going to be complicated. Do I think the Cowboys made a mistake not getting a deal done today? Sure. But their bigger mistake was not getting a deal done a year ago. Because now, and we'll get into the offense. My camera crooked? Do I need to give it a twisting? Give it a little twisty? So let's just pull. Okay, here. Let's do it this way. Okay? Let me show you what the Cowboys offered Dak Prescott here. Let's take a peek here. So, Dak got involved late in the deal, right? Which that's a Jones staple. The Jones' favorite thing to do is to get the agent out of the way, talk to the player directly, and get a deal done. So that's part of the whole thing. Part of the whole thing is the Cowboys think they're special and that the market doesn't apply to them. And in some ways it's true because they've been able to pull it off before. But Dak gets involved to try to get a long-term deal done before the deadline. Deal was between $33 to $35 million a year with $110 million guaranteed. $50 million signing bonus, $70 million over the first 2 years. Dak wanted to get the deal done, but it was just too late per source informed. Now, Jane reached out to Dak, and she said he did dispute some of the details in there, but said that he did speak to Steven. So we'll go with what we have here. And here's the problem. Here's the problem. You got a lot of problems here. One, it's a 5-year deal, right? And that's what Dak was fighting against the whole time, was a 5-year deal. The quarterback said, look, I want a 4-year deal. That's what he wanted. The other guys that are quarterbacks from his draft class that got deals done signed 4-year extensions. He wanted a 4-year extension. Where the Cowboys screwed it up was a year ago because, yeah, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, now Patrick Mahomes, they all got deals done. Well, what made their deal so much easier than Dak's deal? Well, the Cowboys let Dak's deal run out. So that changes things. Pat Mahomes, you can throw out and say, yeah, he's going to get $500 million, but when you go through that thing year by year, he helped the Chiefs out a little bit on that deal. Why? What was his incentive to do that? He had 2 years left on his deal. His incentive was to lock in guaranteed money down the road. His incentive was a signing bonus. His incentive, like that's Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, same thing. I've still got years to play out on my deal. The signing bonus check is awesome. Well, Dak's about to get his $31.7 million on the tag right now. It's not, well, I've got this. So Dak, after his third year, he's now after his fourth year. After his third year, if you come to the table and you give him a real convincing offer, well, that's really tempting. Because right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, what's my salary this year? It's like $1 million, maybe less than $1 million. And you're going to give me a $30, $40, $50 million sign bonus? Ooh, that sounds really good. So if you make a really good offer at that point, you can tempt Dak. But now, you can't. Because what we're doing here is we're doing math. Dak and his agent are doing math. $31.4 million is the tag this year. Next year, it's 37 point something. So that adds up to $69 million that he's going to get over 2 years. Now, if you're saying, well, what if they don't tag him next year? Well, then he'll be an unrestricted free agent, and he'll have all the money. So they're viewing it as over the next 2 years, we already have $69 million or 31.4 and unrestricted free agency where we are going to get $140 million guaranteed, right? So you have to make me a really good offer. You have to now cave to my demands. Now, from the Cowboys' perspective, no, I don't. You're cost controlled for $31.4 million, and then next offseason we'll see again. Now, here's where it gets tough. This is why the Cowboys should have done something a year ago. Now you're stuck. Now you're waiting till next offseason. And next offseason, you go back to Dak. And you say, remember, we offered you almost $35 million a year. You want that same deal? And Dak looks at him and laughs his butt off. Because now, Dak's like, well, your options with me right now are $37 million a year and change on the franchise tag. And when I look a year down the road, now we're past this $31 million deal, right? So now I'm at 37 and change. And in year 2, if you want to tag me again, it's $54 million. So let's do the math. 54 and 37, that's 91 and change. So now my starting point is over $45 million a year. So what happens next offseason is the Cowboys hope like hell that Dak loves being a Cowboy. That's your only hope, because with the math that the agent's going to do, and this agent clearly doesn't want to fold to anybody, as evidenced by the fact that not only did Dak not get a deal, his safety, Justin Simmons with the Broncos, is going to play on the tag. He didn't get a deal. So Todd France is here standing firm, and if you want to blame him, that's cool. You can blame him. But what we're doing is math, because the Cowboys don't want the market to apply to them. They want to say, well, this is what we think is fair and good for us. And the agent and Dak are looking at it like, well, how much can we make if we just don't sign that? And the answer is a lot more. And so you have to offer me something that makes me come off of realizing, oh, we can make a lot more. And the Cowboys didn't do that. And so a year from now, the Cowboys are going to offer him something, and his agent's going to come back and be like, all right, well, with you guys, right now, you're either going to give us $37 million for 1 year and change, and then we're going to hit unrestricted free agency, or you're going to give us 37 point something and then $54 million on another tag. So 37 and change and unrestricted free agency, or over $45 million a year over the next 2 years. The Cowboys just have to beg him, hey, be cool, man. Be cool. Or get ready to find a new quarterback. That's my biggest takeaway, is if Dak and Todd France play this out for the most money they can make, then today was the end of the long-term future of Dak as a Cowboy. Because the math's not going to work. Because next offseason, that's what they're going to say. If you want us for 2 years now on a year-to-year deal, it's over $45 a year. So now my 3 or 4 year deal is for $45 million a year. Otherwise, I can make more by not signing it. This is common sense. This is math. So they're banking on him loving being the Cowboys quarterback and being desperate for the security of a long-term deal. That's what they're begging for. Or for him to fire his agent, who's trying, what's his agent doing? His job. He's trying to maximize the dollars for his client. And by not signing, they did a good job of it. Because now they have even more leverage over the Cowboys when we get to a year from now. Remember, make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh, and hit the little bell, the little notifications thing to make sure that you are receiving a notification every time we have a video go up. So, as I said at the beginning, you're going to have hot take artists that go every direction. Fire your agent. He stopped you from doing a deal you wanted. Or this is the end of Dak as the Cowboys quarterback. Free the nooch. There's going to be a lot of hot takes that can come out of a quarterback playing on a franchise tag because it rarely happens. But ultimately, what happens later is up to a lot of things. Are the Cowboys right in their sense of entitlement and value that they bring to the table with their brand? Are they right? Because they're going to have to bank on that again a year from now. Where they're going to say, look, if you guys can't be more reasonable than $45 million a year, he's going to play on the tag again. And then we'll see you next year. And the agent and Dak could very well say, well, we'll see you next year for $54 million, or we'll see unrestricted free agency. What do you want to do? So it could end with another tag next year and then him hitting the market. And if it does, and then the Cowboys are confident in that, then it comes down to, does he love being the quarterback of the Cowboys? Does he realize, I don't want to say realize because that's like saying you should realize this, but like you can take this for what it's worth, or you can say, I don't care. Like it's a salary cap. You don't get to be special, but being the quarterback of the Cowboys makes you money. During your career, post-career, outside of your salary, being the quarterback of the Cowboys makes you money. So Jerry and Steven are going to bank on him not wanting to lose that. And if he's willing to lose that, then in terms of salary dollars, you're now on the doorstep to him making a lot more than you want to pay him somewhere else. And look, you can leave your comments. They're like, well, he ain't going to get paid on the open market. If Dak Prescott hits the open market after a tag next year or after this year or whatever, Dak's getting over $40 million a year. Dak is getting well over $120 million guaranteed. That's what's going to happen if he hits the market. So it's going to come down to, what does he want? What does he want to do? Where does he want to be? How much of a discount? Because now next year, if he signs a deal next offseason, the Cowboys were offering $33 to $35 million a year on this one. Next offseason, if he signs a deal that's $37 or $38 million a year, he just gave them a giant discount. Because it's math. Like, that's the market thing. You can say over and over again, if player X, Pat, makes this much, then Dak doesn't deserve that much. It's math. It's just math. Math says that over the next year, I'm going to make 31.4. Over the next 2, I'm going to make over $69 million. That's the math. Beat that as the starting point for negotiation. So next year, it's going to be, I'm making 37-point-something million dollars. Next year, it'll be 54. That works out to $45 million a year over 2 years. Beat that. Otherwise, why would I sign it? I'll just hit the market. Let the market tell me what I'm worth. So it's tough. We're going to find out. Now, let's move on to the next newsworthy thing that we saw today, which is from Dak Prescott's brother, Tad Prescott. After the deal didn't get done, there's a reason I was never a Dallas Cowboys fan growing up or before they drafted Dak. After today, who knows how much longer I'll be cheering for them. Now, what do we know from that? Again, much like from them not getting a deal done, nothing. But we can talk about the possibilities. And the first thing that jumps to mind is when there's somebody that is that close to the player and he's expressing an opinion or an emotion or a feeling like that he's not alone. He's not jumping to that conclusion. I would make I think, pretty safe assumption that is a sign of Dak's frustration with the process and with not feeling properly appreciated by the Cowboys and realizing what the math says. The math now says that if you want to maximize your earnings, you will only be the quarterback of the Cowboys this year and one more year. And then you'll see what the market will bear. So it's not words from Dak. Could mean nothing. But I think when it's your brother and it's somebody that you're close to and they're willing to voice that opinion, can it be an emotional reaction? Sure, but it also comes from somewhere. And so I think Dak is probably somewhat involved in that opinion. So, and finally, as I told you guys, Todd France is Dak's agent. Todd France and the Broncos couldn't get a deal done for Justin Simmons. Broncos thought they made a competitive offer to Justin Simmons. Cowboys thought they made a competitive offer to Dak Prescott. Todd France is the common denominator. Deals didn't get done. So this is what happens with players. It's a question of what do you want to trade? Are you willing to trade some long-term security in order to actually win in the long run, provided that you stay healthy and you're able to play pretty well? Todd France has said for Dak and for Justin Simmons that, yeah, we'll risk it. We'll risk it for the biscuit. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I'll try to take care of you. Oh, man, let's just do a mailbag. I know I asked people what they want to talk about. I'm sorry I hadn't been on in a while. I've been off this week. Been golfing every day. Check out eardfw.com. That is something that we are doing to try to save the planet. eardfw.com. Make a donation on there. And if you do that and send me a screenshot, I will play golf with you or I will play Warzone with you. I've been playing golf every day because people have donated and sent me screenshots, and I love you. Everybody that has done that. Education, action, and reform. That's what we're trying to do. We just went over the $10,000 mark to give to organizations that totally do awesome things with the money, including the Texas Organizing Project, Big Thought, the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, and the Revive Dallas Small Business Fund. So help us out there. Now, let me pull up I tweeted out at JC1053 that I was coming out of YouTube vacation golf retirement when I got off the couch, and so I'm off the couch now. Fake Ben says, let's talk about the Chiefs. He always wants to talk about the Chiefs. What do you want? They're good. They're super good. They got a deal done with their quarterback. Caleb, I'd want to know, taking money out of it, do you think this puts a bad taste in Dak's mouth to want to leave now? Bad taste in his mouth? 100%. How could it not? You felt like as a fourth-round pick you were undervalued to begin with. Then you got to your contract negotiations, and they're offering you deals that quarterbacks who are comparable or worse than you basically signed the same deal the year before. They're basically offering him a Carson Wentz, Jared Goff deal a year later than they got it. So as the market ticks up a little bit, they're offering the same thing that was in the past, pretty much. So, yeah, that's going to leave a bad taste in his mouth. The tough part is the to want to leave now. But I'm also a guy who can never picture one of these quarterbacks in another uniform until it actually happens. I couldn't imagine the Cowboys are going to let a young top 10 quarterback in the league get away. But rewind. The math says he's going to be hard to keep unless he steps in and says, I want to be here. Excuse me, agent. Let's not do math and let's just do something that's a whole bunch of money and that we think is fair-ish and that can keep me here. That's what you're banking on. Dak Troll Scott says, let's talk about how big of a mistake it was to let the great Cooper Rush go. Are you kidding me? No, you don't need Cooper Rush. It's time for the Nooch. It's Ben DiNucci time. Mike McCarthy brought in some dude that his brother or something coached in 8th grade in the Nooch. The Nooch is getting ready to take over. Assuming the NFLPA hadn't agreed to the new CBA, do you think Dak would have held out this year until he got a long-term extension or at least threatened to like Zeke did? Maybe. By signing the tag, he was under contract, and so he couldn't hold out. So he doesn't have that choice, or the year wouldn't have counted. So if I were him, I probably would have held out. Get my deal done. Corey, at the Mr. Douglas, he said, Ben DiNucci season. How will he get the ball to Amari, Gallup, and CD? Chill out, Corey. Chill out. Scotty says, damn, for a split second there, I forgot we got CD. If we have football, it'll be fun. Yep. Gary, I feel like both sides botched the bleep out of this. Both scared to be weak and talk first. Can't blink, even if it means no deal. Yeah, that totally happened. Yeah, I think Todd France has sort of a line in the sand where he's saying, look, we have to get this much because math. And the Joneses are saying, we're the Dallas Cowboys. Here's what we'll give you because we're trying to build a team here. But you didn't play that big a hardball with any other player, only your top 10 quarterback. It's weird. I'm tired of Dak talk because I know he's our QB, but I also want to know, what do you expect this offense to be with every weapon we have? Also, thank you for all the content, brother. Stay safe. I expect this offense to be top 5 in the league and probably top 3. That's what I expect. And then I expect to get to the offseason and talk about Dak some more. The receivers are too good. And the line's still really good. I know, left guard and center, you don't know, but go to whoever you think has the best offensive line. You're not going to get through 2 or 3 lines before you're like, hold on, go back to the Cowboys. I think I'd rather have them. You're going to have great pass protection. You're going to have a great quarterback. You're going to have great wide receivers. Jarwin's going to be good. You got good running backs. It's an awesome offense. It's going to be awesome. And hey, maybe at the end of the year, they'll go 9-7. Dak will be 10th in QBR, and I'll be like, okay, you guys want to move on? I'll try it. Whatever. But for now, I think they're dumb. This is DC4L Team 40 Burger. Do you see them pursuing an Adams trade or signing Clowney or Griffin now that the Dak stuff is over? Probably not. But Clowney, they say, might be able to be had for $9 million or so to a contender in a place that he wants to be, and I'm in on that. Griffin, I've heard, how do you say it responsibly? That teams teams aren't sold on Everson Griffin being in their locker room necessarily. And an Adams trade, at some point, I think they'll keep chasing him around. I think that that's a courtship that's happening. He wants them, they want him. It's just a matter of, can you make it work? How are they going to afford Dak on the tag when they're already $100 million against? Well, he already counts against the cap. He already counts. They already fit him. And next year, I think I saw, it might have been KD Drummond. That's my salary cap homie. KD Drummond is awesome. Check out his work. They'll fit him next year just fine, too. They'll just have to move stuff around. Alex, John Stephen Jones is going undrafted from Arkansas in a couple years, becoming the starter of the Cowboys. Oh, man. Oh, man. Ziggy, why did Dr. Disrespect get banned from Twitch? It's the gaming conversation that's equal to the Dak contract. I don't know. I'd seen that. I don't really watch the streamers, but I've seen his getup and his character and some of what he does. And if it's like his real personality, probably because he did something stupid. Cody says, number one, talk about your legendary performance for your best score ever. Shot a 91 this morning, Golf Club of Dallas. It's my best score ever, 91. Front nine was real nice. I even had the 6 and 7 iron working. I was 180 yards out and got a 6 iron, put it on the green. 6 iron I normally can't hit worth a crap. Another one I had 165 to the green, 7 iron onto the green. Shot a 43 on the front, which means I shot a 48 on the back. No, I shot a 47 on the back, didn't I? I shot a 47. Yeah, I'll check the scorecard. Yeah, I got 90. I shot a 90. Crap. Shot a 90 because I was trying to break 90 and I didn't, I think. I'll go check. How does the cap work from here as far as signing rookies or ancillary free agents now that Dak's money's set in stone? They got some money. They can go do something. They got a little bit, and they could have more if they need it. Flip a little switch on Tank or Zach or somebody. You can make room. Kevin, my biggest question is which Cowboys rookie not named Lamb or Diggs makes the biggest impact this year? Gallimore, Biotish, Anai. Sorry to do this. I know you're a major Lamb stan trying to pick a question you haven't answered. I'm not a stan. That comes from the song Stan, right? Eminem, where it's like you're creepily obsessed. Biotish. I think he can win the starting center job, and there's no bigger impact than being a starter. Gallimore isn't going to start. Anai's not going to start. Tyler Biotish, I think, will probably have the biggest impact out of those guys. What actual benefit could be had by not signing Dak before the deadline today, other than just preparing to move on from him, which seems like a very bad idea? I can't imagine any. There's really not a benefit to not signing Dak, other than the freedom to move on from him. That's it. If you wanted to tag and trade next year, that's a benefit. If you gave him a long-term deal, you couldn't trade him next year. But outside of things that involve Dak not being here, there's no benefit to not getting the deal done. Will Cowboys be afforded to tag Dak next year if the cap goes down? Yes, again, yes. Right this second, if you looked at their 2021 cap, maybe not, but they would just move whatever they had to move. They'd move money around and they'd make it work. I think that's all I got today. Maybe I'll play some Warzone or something. Add me on the Warzone. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I'll try to do a video tomorrow. I can do a video tomorrow. What are you talking about? I'm on vacation. I'm not doing anything. I'm just golfing at 8:30. Playing Cowboys Club tomorrow. So leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Tell your friends about the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. I need all of you. I need you. Oh, and mash that thumbs up button. You kidding me? It's a long video. Oh, I got a phone call coming in. All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Get up in the comments, all right?